Well, let's go back to our earlier story. Former SARS Commissioner Ivan Pillay is off the hook. The NPA has announced that it's withdrawing charges against Pillay and former colleagues Andries Janse van Rensburg and Johan van Lochenberg. They've been charged in connection with authorizing the installation of surveillance equipment at the NPA's Directorate of Special Operations, as well as corruption. Now, joining me live on the line is Johan van Lochenberg's lawyer, Bernard Hotz. A very good evening to you, Mr. Hotz. Thanks indeed for your time. You must be quite relieved. This has been a protracted battle with the National Director of Public Prosecutions.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And I'm representing Ivan Pillay, Johan van Lochenberg, and Andries Janse van Rensburg.
Thank you very much.
And yes, it has been a long battle. We received the news this afternoon, and my clients who are notified are obviously very relieved. They applaud the actions of the NDPP and her team, and they are encouraged by the direction in which the NPA is going to restore its office to the former glory that and importance that the office of the NPA should play in this country, in the future of this country, and in ensuring that justice prevails.
And obviously, all of this is related, of course, to the so-called rogue unit case. Do your clients see this as a vindication for what they've been saying all along, that there were particular individuals who were so called out to get them?
Let's be clear. The terminology rogue unit is something that ought never to have been used. It was being used for mischievous purposes, and my clients were, to put it simply, the victims of state capture. We are talking about loyal civil servants, people who were performing their duties to the best of their abilities and in the best interests of our country. But they fell foul of people who were intent on ruining this country. This is a victory. This is a victory because it heralds a signal that the days of state capture ought to be over, and those people who were guilty of conduct that was unlawful in relation to state capture should now face the consequences for their actions.
What was different in terms of the representations? I understand you made representations to the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions. They obviously did not want to say what is contained in that. But what was part of your argument to the National Director of Public Prosecutions why this case should not go ahead?
We used the opportunity, as we're entitled to in terms of the Act, to put forward the details, providing evidence of what this case is really about. And it's not appropriate to discuss these issues in this forum, but you can be assured, obviously, that when the NDPP and her team saw the evidence in black and white as to what was really going on, they could reach no other conclusion other than there was never a reasonable prospect in a successful prosecution.
Just finally, Mr. Hotz, it's been a protracted legal battle. Are your clients looking to take any action in terms of the charges, I guess, that have been laid against them, which have now been cleared?
It's premature at this stage because as I said, I was notified late this afternoon by the Office of the NDPP, and I've notified my clients who, you will understand, have been through a psychological nightmare for far too long. So as opposed to thinking about what to do next, I would like to believe that they're sitting this moment, perhaps lifting a glass of wine or a scotch and toasting to justice.
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Bernard Hotz, of course, representing Johan van Lochenberg as well as Ivan Pillay, and another former SARS official, of course, involved in what his lawyers say they would rather not refer to as the so-called rogue unit case. The National Director of Public Prosecutions following, of course, representations made by that lawyer not to proceed with the charges against them.